If you're a good woman that keeps attracting bad relationships, then I have some bad news. It's you. But no judgment. We can't do better until we know better. So let's talk about it. Welcome back, ladies. If it's your first time joining me, hey boo, I am glad to see you. Now, today I'm getting a little bit deeper. We are talking about 4 of the primary reasons why I believe good women end up attracting or in bad relationships. Now, like I said before, no judgment. I'm recovering from a couple of these things myself. The first reason why great women end up attracting bad relationships is because underneath the surface, she may be a Needham woman. Needham women subconsciously feel that they need someone to fill a particular void they don't believe they can fill or figure out themselves. It's classic codependent behavior. While this codependence looks different for every woman, generally there are 5 different things that she's trying to fill the void for. The Needham woman feels that she needs a man for money, for sex, to cure her loneliness, to support or validate her, or for love. She's starving in a particular area, and when you're famished, you will settle for crap. The road to recovery for a Needham woman really should start with self-discovery. If you resonate with a Needham woman, then you're going to need to figure out what these particular voids are that you're trying to fill, how they manifest, and most importantly, where they originated. For a Needham woman, this is not an overnight fix. It is going to be a process, and in my opinion, this is best discovered through professional counseling. The second reason is below the surface. You may be a woman that's suffering from poor emotional credit. Anytime a guy comes along that you really like, you are doing all that you can to be approved. Women with poor emotional credit do not internally feel like they are good enough. Now, it's really sad because most of these women are amazing. They have some tremendous credits behind their name, but they're always on a quest to be more, have more, accomplish more. Unfortunately, a woman like this attracts what I call a got it going on jerk. These are the guys that look good on paper, but they don't treat you very good. Subconsciously, though, this is exactly the man she's looking for. She believes she has to be more. She has to earn. If she could get him to love her, desire her, want her, then it's an automatic validation that she's enough. Now, I am a woman recovering from poor emotional credit. If you are like me, then the road to recovery for you has to first start with admitting and acknowledging that you have not always felt that you are enough. Once you have admitted that to yourself, you're going to want to commit to doing better. You're gonna need to identify where this idea of you not being enough or feeling enough came from. And when you do find out where it came from, you have to know that that idea no longer has permission or control over your future existence. How do you do that? You're gonna have to curb your internal negative dialogue. Let me tell you what I did. I literally wrote I am enough on the inside of my hand with a Sharpie pen, y'all. And every time I got one of those negative thoughts that nagged me and told me what I wasn't, I stopped, collected my thoughts, looked at that phrase, I am enough, repeated it to myself over and over and over again. And you know what? The more that I did that, the more it became like a second nature. Do I still have my moments? Yes. But it helps to remind yourself that you are enough right now, today, as is. The third reason is below the surface, you may be an invisible woman. Somewhere along the line, an invisible woman was taught, came to believe that she didn't and doesn't matter. Because of this, she thinks doing for herself, looking after herself, taking care of herself is selfish. But she does believe that taking care of others is selfless and noble. Unfortunately, this communicates to everyone around her that she's the one that can save the day. She's the one that can get things done. She's the one that can be taken advantage of. And when it comes to romantic relationship, she consistently attracts narcissists. If an invisible woman subconsciously thinks, I don't matter, but taking care of someone is really noble, then they will attract and end up with a man that makes it all about him. Now, the road to recovery for an invisible woman is almost identical to that of a woman with poor emotional credit, with the exception of two things. When it comes to internal dialogue, the invisible woman has to stop her thoughts and ask the question, am I putting someone else's needs, particularly a man, ahead of or above my own personal needs? Secondly, instead of writing I am enough somewhere physically visible that you can grab and see at any moment's time, the invisible woman would want to write something like this: what about me? Or today I am the most important someone. Now, if you resonate with the invisible woman, that feels uncomfortable to you, but let me encourage you. You cannot fill anyone's cup when yours is empty. Fill first, pour second. The last reason why good women often end up in bad relationships is below the surface. She could be a 10 woman. A 10 woman is virtually impenetrable when it comes to her heart. Her guard is so high up, it could give Buckingham Palace a run for its money, honey. With good reason though, because typically a 10 woman either saw someone be hurt really bad in early childhood, or they themselves were vulnerable at some point and were absolutely crushed. Either way, over time, the 10 woman came to believe that she couldn't let herself down because other than a select group of people, others can't really be trusted. Unfortunately for the 10 woman, this consistently attracts emotionally unavailable men. If you cannot, will not, don't want to become vulnerable, then it kind of makes sense to be with a guy who don't want your relationship to get that deep. As a recovering 10 woman myself, I can say that the road to recovery is going to take practicing vulnerability daily. Now, that does not mean you go telling your business to everybody and their cousin and their mamas too. No, no, no. What this does mean, however, is that you are going to commit to being consistently vulnerable with the small select group of people who have earned the right to hear your story. These people have already proved that they can be trusted with your heart and your emotions. And for the 10 woman, small wins and vulnerability are very important. Trust me. Your future husband will appreciate it. So ladies, which one of these do you resonate with? What do you feel like you need to do the most work on? I'd love to hear it. Tell me in the comments. Before I go, I really want to say this. Ladies, we really got to stop shaming other women we see in bad relationships. She's so weak. That could never be me. It wasn't until I found myself on the other side of the equation with an emotionally abusive man, someone who at the end of the relationship, I knew with 100% certainty it was going to become physically abusive. I realized it does not take much to slide yourself down that slippery slope and end up like that. So if you have knowledge and you have insight to help someone, don't talk about her. Help her. Because she's hurting. Well, I hope this episode helped you. Now, this is definitely something that you are going to want to share, and I'd love it if you did, so please pass it on if you liked it. Also, don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you don't miss anything. If you happen to like the way I teach, resonate with my style, and love my advice, then don't forget to go over to totallovemakeover.com and join the dressing room. You can have the love you want. Sometimes you have to do something different to get something different. And if you're willing to do the work, then I'm more than willing to help you get there. Until next time.